Number 1. The 1978 Ford F-250 Super Cab Long Bed, listed at $7,000, located in Picayune, Mississippi. Here we have a true American classic from the late 1970s, a 1978 Ford F-250 Super Cab Ranger XLT, a heavy-duty long bed truck that was built to work hard, last long, and still carry the style and presence Ford was known for. This truck shows just over 107,000 original miles, making it a well-used but far from worn-out example. Under the hood sits Ford's legendary 460 big block V8. This engine was designed for pulling, hauling, and handling whatever job you could throw at it. It's paired with a two-wheel drive setup, giving it the strength and simplicity that old-school truck enthusiasts really value. Recently, it received some important upgrades, including a new Holley carburetor and a few other maintenance items to keep it running strong. The seller says this truck starts, runs, and drives just the way it should, and that they'd feel confident driving it anywhere. Even the factory air conditioning is still blowing cold, which is rare for a truck of this age and a real bonus for anyone wanting comfort along with muscle. Now let's talk condition. After more than 4 decades, the truck is still remarkably solid. The frame is in great shape, and that's one of the most important things to look for on a classic like this. There is some rust on the cab corners and at the front edge of the hood, but nothing structural and nothing that can't be repaired with a little work. Compared to many others from this era, especially in the South and Midwest, this F-250 is cleaner than most. Inside, it carries the Ranger XLT trim package, which was Ford's higher-end option for trucks in the late 70s. This means a more comfortable cabin, extra details in the interior, and a bit of added style compared to the base models. It's not perfect, but it still holds on to a lot of its originality. From the outside, this truck still shows its factory yellow paint, a bright, bold color that represents the era perfectly. Even though it's faded with time, it adds to the truck's authentic character. This isn't a show queen, it's a survivor, and that's exactly what many collectors and enthusiasts are after. The seller makes it clear. The title is in hand, and the truck is ready for its next owner. It's listed at $7,000 cash, with the seller also mentioning $8,500 or best offer, and even willing to consider trades. However, they aren't in a hurry to sell, and they aren't entertaining lowball offers. Overall, this 1978 Ford F-250 Super Cab is the kind of truck that bridges the gap between utility and collectability. It's strong, it's original, it's got character, and most importantly, it's ready to hit the road. Whether you're looking for a classic hauler, a restoration project with a solid foundation, or simply a piece of Ford history to enjoy, this truck checks all the right boxes. Number 2. The 1988 Ford F-150 FX2 Lariat, listed at $17,500 and located in Crosby, Texas. Now, what makes this truck stand out right away is the fact that it's a Lariat trim. Back in the day, the Lariat was the top of the line, and it came with a little more comfort, a little more refinement, and of course, that iconic styling that Ford trucks are known for. This one has been well kept and shows just how tough and timeless these pickups really are. Under the hood, it's packing the tried and true 5.0-liter V8 engine, paired with an automatic transmission. That combination is legendary for its reliability and smooth power delivery. Even better, this truck has only 64,000 miles on it. For a pickup that's nearly 4 decades old, that's incredibly low mileage, and it means there's still a lot of life left in this engine. Whether you want to use it as a weekend cruiser, a daily driver, or even a collector's piece, this F-150 has a mechanical foundation to back it up. Inside, it's equipped with working air conditioning and a heater, so you're set for any kind of weather. The Lariat trim means you also get that extra bit of comfort and detail in the interior design that made these trucks a step above the base models. It's a great blend of rugged utility and everyday drivability, which is exactly why these F-150s became so popular in the first place. On the exterior, it's sitting on a set of wide 17 by 11 rims wrapped in tires that are still in great condition. That stance gives the truck a confident look, while also making it practical for the road. The body lines are straight. The design is classic Ford from the late 80s, and it really captures that era when trucks started blending utility with a more modern, stylish feel. Another big plus here, it comes with a clean Texas title. That means no red tape, no messy paperwork, just a straightforward purchase. The seller does make one thing clear, though. This is a cash-only deal. All in all, this 1988 Ford F-150 FX2 Lariat is the kind of truck that's getting harder to find, low miles, great condition, and already sitting on a solid set of wheels and tires. For $17,500, you're getting a piece of Ford truck history that's built to last, looks sharp, and still has the ability to turn heads on the road today. Number 3. The 1987 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 short bed, listed at $6,750 and located in Houston, Texas. Now, if you know these trucks, you know 1987 was the final year of the square body generation. That alone makes it a little more special, because collectors and enthusiasts alike really appreciate the clean, boxy styling that Chevy carried through the 80s. And for under $7,000, this one definitely has a lot going for it. This Silverado has been driven 185,212 miles, which is a fair number, but that's expected with a pickup that's over 3 decades old. What matters most is that the drivetrain is in good condition. The seller says the motor and transmission are solid, which means the foundation of this truck is strong. It runs, it drives, and with just a little attention, it can be back on the road full time. Plus, it comes with a clean Texas title under the seller's name, so you don't have to worry about ownership hassles or paperwork delays. Taking a look at the exterior, you'll notice right away it's a straight body. No rust, no ugly patches, no major body damage. That's a big deal because with classics, a clean body saves you a ton of money down the road. This one is dressed up with vinyl top that's been well done, and it gives the truck a unique style that really pops. It's also rocking 15 by 10 rims paired with good tires, so it's got that aggressive stance everyone loves on a short bed Chevy. Add in the classic spoilers and Corvette rear lights, and you got a truck that already stands out from the crowd. Now, it's not perfect, but that's part of the appeal if you're looking for a project with potential. It needs a few things to be fully dialed in: a new gas pump and tank, and it's missing a radio. The seller notes that it'll start by priming the carburetor, which tells you it's close to being road ready. For anyone handy with a wrench, these are minor fixes that can have this truck cruising again in no time. When you step back and think about it, this is a really solid deal for what you're getting. A last year square body Silverado, short bed configuration, no rust, straight body, clean title, and all for $6,750 cash today. Trucks like this are getting harder to find at this price point, especially ones that don't need a full body restoration. So whether you're looking for a weekend cruiser, a shop project to customize, or just an affordable way to get into the classic truck scene, this 1987 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 short bed could be the right fit. It's got good bones, unique touches, and plenty of potential. All that's missing is the next owner ready to bring it back to life. Number 4. The 1968 Ford F-250 regular cab long bed, listed at $11,000 and located in Hollister, California. Now, here's the backstory. This truck was originally bought years ago as a non-runner with the idea of using it for a body swap. But once the seller got it cleaned up and running, it became clear that this Ford was too solid and too good of a truck to tear apart for parts. That's a strong statement, and it tells you just how well this pickup has held up over the years. The odometer shows 75,000 miles, and it's paired with a manual transmission for that true old-school driving experience. This isn't just another old farm truck. It's a solid, rust-free custom cab camper special. It's currently on non-op of the title, so you're good to go as far as paperwork is concerned. The body itself is in great shape for its age. It looks like it was repainted some years back, not perfect, and it's starting to develop that age repaint patina. But with a good polish, it still cleans up nicely. The cab mounts, corners, door bottoms, fender bottoms, and floors are all solid. That's huge when you're talking about a truck from the late 60s, because rust repair can easily eat up your budget. Under the hood, it's running a built 390 V8 with a 2-barrel carb, long tube headers, and what sounds like a mild cam. It's also equipped with power steering and power brakes, which makes driving a lot more enjoyable compared to bare-bones pickups from this era. It even came with factory AC. Though the compressor and condenser are missing, the plumbing is still present, which means you can restore that system if you wanted to bring back the comfort. The truck does run and drive, but it has been parked for a few years, so you want to take that into account before planning any long road trips. Like with any older vehicle, a little freshening up will go a long way to make it road ready again. The seller makes it clear they're not looking to deal with lowball offers or endless "is it available?" messages. They respect serious shoppers, but they're looking for buyers who will actually come see the truck in person and show up with cash in hand. If no one steps up, the seller says they'll part it out, which would be a shame for a classic this solid. At $11,000, this 1968 Ford F-250 Custom Cab Camper Special is a strong candidate for anyone wanting a rust-free, great bones classic pickup. Whether you're looking to restore it, drive it as is with its patina, or keep it as a solid piece of late 60s Ford history, this truck deserves to stay on the road.
1972 F-150 long bed, 390, completely rebuilt, small cam, playmaster, sounds great. Body's in great shape, very, very little rust. Interior is not bad. Looks good. Floor panels look good.
Number 5. The 1972 Ford F-150 long bed, listed at $18,500 and located in Lexington, North Carolina. Now, this truck has had a lot of work put into it over the last few years, and it shows. Under the hood, it's powered by a rebuilt 390 V8 engine with a small cam, giving it a nice balance of power and drivability. The engine only has about 47,000 miles since the rebuild, and the transmission has also been redone. It's an automatic 3-speed, so you've got that reliable old-school setup ready to go. Braking has been upgraded too. The truck now has a front disc brake conversion with drums in the back, which gives you more confidence when driving it in modern traffic. Pair that with a freshened up front end and solid suspension, and this pickup isn't just for show. It's ready to hit the road. The wheels and tires are in great condition and really complement the body style. The paint is in good shape as well, not perfect show quality, but definitely clean and eye-catching. Inside, the interior is well kept with very little rust throughout the truck. A lot of electrical work has been tackled already. Dash lights, brake lights, and the interior lighting have all been fixed, which is one less headache for the next owner. One cool upgrade is the new hard headliner that's been installed. It's strong enough to hold a radio, though at the moment, it doesn't have one installed. That leaves you some flexibility to add your own sound system the way you want it. The seller has been working on this truck for about 3 years, investing a lot of time and money. Just the motor alone was close to $15,000, with another $2,500 spent on the front end and brake upgrades. Altogether, it adds up to a solid, powerful pickup that drives great and has a ton of muscle under the hood. At this point, the seller says it's simply time to move on. They're firm on the price for the most part, just looking to get back what they put into it. But they are open to trades of equal value. So if you're in the market for a strong-running, well-kept, and tastefully upgraded classic Ford, this 1972 F-150 long bed might be exactly what you're after. It's got the looks, the power, and the reliability to match. A great blend of old-school charm and modern usability. Number 6. The 1988 Chevrolet C1500 Cheyenne, listed at $6,000 and located in Windsor. This one's powered by the reliable 5.7-liter 350 V8 with throttle body injection, which was Chevy's way of modernizing fuel delivery back in the late 80s. It's now a low-mileage truck. The odometer shows 298,000 miles, but the fact that it still runs and drives well says a lot about the durability of these engines. The seller even points out that it's ready to drive home today, which is impressive for a truck with this many years and miles behind it. It's a single-cab, long bed setup, the kind of configuration that's perfect for someone who wants utility, space, and that classic boxy look that's making a comeback among truck fans. This isn't a garage queen. It's a working pickup that's still got plenty of life left. The good news is it just passed smog back in February, and the registration is current, so you won't be dealing with any DMV headaches. That's already a win if you're in California or anywhere else with strict emissions rules. Now, let's talk about the condition. The seller is upfront about it. The paint is rough. It was repainted about 20 years ago, and at this point, it's showing its age. There are dents and dings, and what you see in the pictures is exactly what you're getting, but the body is still solid. And if you've been wanting a project truck, this is the kind of canvas you can build on, whether that's restoring it back to original or customizing it to your own taste. Inside and out, it's a Cheyenne trim level, which was the base package, so it's more about function than flash. But that makes it a great starting point for someone who wants to add upgrades over time. The seller says they're open to offers, but don't waste their time with lowballs. Cash is king, and delivery is even available for a fee if you can't make the drive yourself. At $6,000, this 1988 Chevy C1500 is an affordable way into the world of classic trucks. It's not perfect, but it's honest. It runs, it drives. It's legal on the road right now, and it's waiting for someone to either daily drive it or turn it into their next big project. Number 7. The 1985 Chevrolet S10 Durango, priced at $7,500 and located in Waynesville. This truck has only 93,000 original miles on it, which is incredibly low for something that's been around for nearly 4 decades. Even better, it's absolutely rust-free, which makes it a rare find. Everything works the way it should, from the power windows and power locks to the heater and air conditioning. The AAIC system does hold vacuum, but it'll need R12 to get back to blowing cold. Under the hood, it's running the stock 2.8-liter V6. It's not the biggest engine out there, but a seller points out that this pickup is a perfect candidate for a swap. Whether you're thinking about dropping in a big block or going the LS route, this truck gives you a clean foundation to build on. The truck hasn't just been preserved, it's also been upgraded in the right places. It's got brand new Beltec leaf springs and spindles, plus a fresh set of vision wheels wrapped in new tires. Give it a sharp look and a solid stance. Other new parts include an electric fuel pump, blower motor, updated door and window weather stripping, a brand new carburetor, a remote fuel cutoff switch, and even remanufactured door panels. On top of that, it's got a cowl hood, adding just a little bit of attitude to its appearance. As far as the exterior goes, the paint is mostly original, which is something collectors love. The only exceptions are the hood and the roof, which have been repainted, but the rest of the truck still carries that original factory finish. All in all, this 85 Chevy S10 Durango is a great combination of originality and thoughtful upgrades. It runs and drives great just the way it sits, but it's also the perfect platform for someone who wants to take it further with a performance build. For $7,500, you're getting a clean, rust-free pickup with low miles and tons of potential. Number 8. The 1984 Chevrolet Silverado, priced at $10,000 and located near Berry Road and North Oak in Kansas City. This truck shows just over 100,500 miles on the odometer, which is fairly low for its age, and it's got all the signs of being well kept over the years. The body lines are straight, which is always a big deal when it comes to square body trucks, since they tend to show flaws easily. This one has been undercoat when new, so it's managed to stay solid with only minimal rust after 4 decades on the road. The paint is on the thinner side now, nothing show quality, but that's expected for a truck of this vintage. Some people even prefer that worn-in look, because it gives the truck an honest character and sets it apart from freshly sprayed restorations. It's also a great starting point if you want to bring it back with a new paint job down the line. Mechanically, the truck runs good, and the automatic transmission makes it easy to drive whether you're cruising around town or putting it to work. The seller is the second owner and has had the truck for the last 10 years, so it's not something that's been bouncing from hand to hand. That kind of ownership history usually means the truck has been treated with some care. This Silverado is being offered as is, so what you see is what you get. The seller is only accepting cash, and they've made it clear they prefer phone calls only, no text, no endless back and forth online. At $10,000, this 1984 Silverado represents a solid opportunity to own a classic Chevy square body that hasn't been beat up or rotted out. With good bones, minimal rust, and a strong running drivetrain, it's a truck you can enjoy now and improve over time. Number 9. The 1966 Ford F-150 long bed, priced at $10,500 and located in Princeton, West Virginia. Now, this is the kind of truck that really takes you back to a different era. With just under 63,000 miles showing on the odometer, it's a well-preserved example of Ford's mid-60s pickups, and it's got that timeless long bed stance that collectors and old-school truck lovers are always chasing. Under the hood, it's powered by the 352 V8 engine paired with a 3-speed manual transmission. That setup is about as classic as it gets, giving you that raw, mechanical driving experience that modern trucks just can't duplicate. It fires up, runs, and drives well, which makes it more than just a display piece. It's a truck you can actually take out and enjoy. The body has been repainted some years back, and while it's not a fresh show-quality respray, it still looks sharp and has held up well over time. The truck is described as very nice and solid, and that's exactly what buyers want to hear when it comes to a vehicle that's nearly 60 years old. Straight panels, a clean frame, and solid construction mean you're working with great bones. Inside and out, this Ford is about simplicity and durability. No flashy upgrades, just a straight-up classic pickup that's been cared for and kept on the road. It's the kind of truck you could drive as is, or put in the extra effort to bring it up to show condition without starting from scratch. The seller makes it clear. Only serious buyers need apply, and this is a cash-only deal. If you're ready to talk numbers, you'll need to show up with the money and be ready to make a deal. At $10,500, this 1966 Ford F-150 long bed offers a great entry point into classic truck ownership. It's solid, it runs and drives, and it carries that unmistakable mid-60s Ford look that never goes out of style. For anyone looking for an honest, well-kept vintage pickup, this one is definitely worth a closer look. Number 10. The 1979 Ford F-150 Lariat long bed, listed at $9,800 and located in sunny Long Beach, California. Now, if you're familiar with Ford trucks from this era, you already know the Lariat was the top trim level, offering just a little more comfort and style than the standard workhorse F-150. This one is just under 90,000 miles on the odometer, and it's a survivor that really stands tall. The first thing to note is the originality. The seller points out that this truck still wears its original paint and original interior. That's becoming harder and harder to find as the years go by. Most of these trucks have been resprayed, customized, or worn down over decades of use. But this one remains authentic to its factory condition. And for collectors, originality is always a big plus. It's also completely rust-free, which is exactly what you hope for from a California truck. That dry climate really helps preserve the metal, and the lack of rust means you're not dealing with costly repairs or hidden surprises underneath. For a truck that's closing in on half a century, that's impressive. The listing shows an automatic transmission alongside a mention of manual, which may be a mix-up. But either way, it's clear that this Ford runs and drives strong. Whether you're looking for a classic weekend cruiser, a showpiece, or even a reliable old-school daily, this one checks a lot of boxes. Inside, you'll find that vintage late 70s Ford style, straightforward, functional, but with a touch of Lariat comfort. The interior is original, meaning it shows some natural wear, but also adds to the authenticity and story of the truck. Nothing flashy, nothing overdone, just a clean, honest classic pickup. At $9,800, this 1979 Ford F-150 Lariat long bed represents a solid deal in today's market. Trucks like this are climbing in value, especially when they're rust-free and still wearing their original finishes. It's not just a piece of old iron. It's a well-preserved chapter of Ford's truck heritage, waiting for the right owner to keep it on the road for years to come. So, if you've been hunting for a late 70s Ford that hasn't been hacked up or restored beyond recognition, this might be the one worth checking out. Number 11. The 1972 Ford F-100 long bed, listed at just $4,250 and located in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, at first glance, this truck represents one of the best values you'll find in the classic pickup world. It's got around 93,000 miles on the odometer and comes with a clean title. Under the hood, you'll find a 360 big block FE paired with an automatic transmission, a solid, reliable combination that's been keeping these trucks on the road for decades. The seller mentions that the truck does run and drive, but it'll need a few basics before it's ready to cruise long distances. Things like a fresh battery, a tire, and even something as simple as an air cleaner stud. It's one of those projects where you could bring a trailer, put a little time into it, and be driving around in no time. Mechanically, a lot of the important work has already been handled. It's got a fuel cell and an electric fuel pump installed, along with fresh head gaskets and intake gaskets. There's also a brand new carburetor, a new starter, new alternator, new voltage regulator, and new ignition components. That's a big chunk of the heavy lifting already done, and those upgrades add both value and peace of mind for the next owner. Cosmetically, the truck does show some rust, but according to the seller, it's not bad at all. The frame itself is solid, which is really the most important part when buying a classic like this. Bodywork can always be addressed down the line, but a solid frame means you've got strong bones to build from. Inside, you're looking at a truck that's mostly complete, and the seller even has the original keys to the doors and fuel lock, a nice touch that keeps the vintage feel intact. At this point, it's very close to being a daily drivable classic, and for the price point, that's hard to beat. At just $4,250 or best offer, with no trades considered, the 72 Ford F-100 long bed is priced a move. It's not a fully restored showpiece, but that's exactly what makes it appealing. It's a classic pickup with character, a strong drivetrain, and just enough originality to make it a worthwhile project for someone looking to get into the world of vintage trucks without breaking the bank. So whether you're looking for a budget-friendly entry into classic Ford ownership, a weekend cruiser with potential, or a project to take to the next level, this F-100 has plenty to offer, and it's ready for its next chapter. Number 12. The 1975 Chevy Scottsdale C10, listed at just $3,500 and located out in Granite Falls. Now, this is the kind of truck that represents real value in the classic pickup world. With only 89,000 miles showing on the odometer, it comes with Chevy's tried-and-true V8 350 engine, paired up with an automatic transmission. According to the seller, it runs and drives great, and everything on it is working. That alone makes it a nice candidate for someone who wants a vintage truck without dealing with endless mechanical headaches. This Scottsdale is being sold as a turnkey and go kind of ride. You could get in, fire it up, and use it as a daily driver right now. Or, if you're someone who likes to put in a little extra work, it's also an excellent base for a full restoration project. The bones are solid, and it hasn't been turned into someone else's half-finished experiment. As far as issues go, the seller is up front. The valve cover gaskets may need to be replaced. A pretty simple job for most DIYers. And the brakes could use a bleed to get them feeling just right again. Beyond that, the truck is in pretty good shape overall. There's only minimal rust, which is impressive for a vehicle that's been around since the mid-1970s. Cosmetically, it's not pretending to be a show truck, but that's also part of the appeal. You can leave the patina and drive it as is, embracing that vintage look, or you can put in the work to really bring it back to showroom condition. Either way, you're not starting with a truck that's been beat to death. You're starting with one that still has plenty of life left in it. At just $3,500 or best offer, this Chevy Scottsdale C10 is priced right in the sweet spot for someone looking to break into classic truck ownership without spending a fortune. Trucks from this era are getting harder to find in decent running condition, and the fact that this one's ready to roll makes it a deal worth considering. So whether you're after a weekend cruiser, a reliable daily with vintage style, or a blank canvas to build your dream project, this 75 Scottsdale has what you need. Affordable, drivable, and loaded with potential. It's just waiting for the next owner to take the wheel. Number 13. The 1985 Chevrolet K10 Silverado, listed at $10,000 and located in Gloucester, Virginia. This truck is the real deal for anyone who's into square-body Chevys. It's a short bed model, which makes it more desirable and a lot sportier looking than the long beds. Under the hood, you're getting a strong-running 350 small block with a cam, hooked up to a turbo 350 automatic transmission. To add even more muscle, it's got a dual exhaust setup that gives it that deep, classic V8 rumble every time you hit the gas. Now, one of the most impressive details on this K10 is the mileage. The odometer shows just over 12,000 miles, which is incredibly low for a truck that's been around since the mid-1980s. Even if the drivetrain's been refreshed, that kind of mileage on the body and frame makes it a really solid find. Inside, you'll find power windows and power locks. Definitely a nice bonus for a truck of this vintage. It was originally an air-conditioned truck, though the compressor is missing, so you need to sort that out if cold air is a must for you. The important thing is that the plumbing's there, so restoring the A to C wouldn't be too difficult if you wanted to make it a complete comfort cruiser. Cosmetically and structurally, the seller describes it as a solid truck, and that's exactly what most buyers are looking for. No mention of major rust issues, which is always a concern with trucks from this era. And given the upgrades it already has, plus that strong drivetrain, you're getting a rig that's ready to hit the road, the trails, or even serve as a weekend showpiece. At $10,000 or best offer, this K10 sits in a sweet spot. It's not cheap, but it's priced right for what it is, a desirable short bed, V8 powered, four-wheel drive Silverado with power options and plenty potential. Trucks like this are only going up in value, especially when they're this complete. So whether you're looking for a vintage daily driver, a weekend toy, or a solid base for a restoration or custom build, this 85 Chevrolet K10 Silverado checks all the boxes. Strong, stylish, and ready for its next chapter. It's a classic square body that's just waiting for the right owner. Number 14. The Ford F-150 Lariat pickup, listed at just $900 and located down in Rebecca, Georgia. This is Ford's classic late 80s body style. And even though this particular truck has been sitting for a couple years, there's still a lot of value packed into it for the right buyer. It's a long bed, two-wheel drive Lariat edition, which means back in its day it was a higher trim level, giving you a few more creature comforts than your average work truck. Under the hood, the details aren't fully clear since the seller admits they don't know much about it. What we do know is that it's got an automatic transmission, and the truck shows about 200,000 miles on the odometer. That's a lot of life lived, but for an old-school Ford, it doesn't necessarily mean the end of the road. Plenty of these trucks have been brought back to life with some basic mechanical work and a little elbow grease. One nice touch is that it comes with power windows, which wasn't always standard back in the late 80s. So, for a truck that's over 3 decades old, that's a handy feature to have if you decide to bring it back to working condition. Now, let's be clear, this truck does not currently run. It's been sitting for a couple of years, and as with any vehicle that's been parked for that long, it'll need a full once-over before you even think about hitting the road. We're talking fluids, fuel system, brakes, tires, basically the works. But the good news here is that it comes with a clean title in hand, which makes the process of ownership and restoration a whole lot simpler. At just $900, what you're really buying is potential. This could be a great parts truck for someone already working on an F-150 project, or it could serve as a foundation for a budget build if you got the skills and the time. Trucks like this can often be turned into solid daily drivers again with some effort, and given how collectible classic Fords are becoming, even a non-running example like this has its place in the market. So if you're the type of person who sees opportunity in a project, this 1988 Ford F-150 Lariat might just be calling your name. With its clean title, long bed, power windows, and bargain price tag, it's a low-risk way to get into the classic truck world, and maybe turn a forgotten pickup into your next proud build. Number 15, the 1967 Chevrolet C10, listed at $7,500 and located in Leachfield, Kentucky. This truck is a true icon of the late 60s, and this particular example has been given the kind of upgrades that make a fun and reliable driver. Under the hood, it's running a small block Chevy 350, one of the most popular and dependable V8s of all time. That motor is paired with a 3-speed manual transmission on the floor, which gives you that old-school driving experience while still being easy enough to handle for everyday cruising. The seller has clearly put some time and money into making sure this truck is roadworthy. It's got brand new clutches and a fresh flywheel, so you won't ever worry about drivability right out of the gate. On top of that, the front end has been upgraded with a 2.5-inch drop spindle setup, giving it a slightly more aggressive stance and better handling. Even better, it's been converted to power disc brakes up front, a huge safety upgrade over the old drum system these trucks originally came with. That means you'll have much more stopping power and confidence, whether you're just driving around town or taking out on the highway. To round out mechanical updates, the truck has new bearings, new U-joints, and brand new wheels and tires. That's a long list of improvements that add real value and peace of mind. Cosmetically, the ad doesn't go into a lot of detail, but with these trucks, the appeal is often in their simplicity. The 67 C10 is one of the most sought-after body styles in the Chevy lineup, thanks to its clean lines and timeless proportions. Whether you leave it as is and enjoy it, or take it further with a full restoration, this truck is a fantastic foundation. At $7,500, with no trade accepted, the price is right in the sweet spot for a solid driver with meaningful upgrades already in place. You're not buying someone else's unfinished project. You're buying a truck that's already had a lot of hard work done, and is ready for the next owner to enjoy. So if you've been looking for a 60s Chevy pickup that blends classic style with modern drivability, this 1967 Chevrolet C10 is one worth checking out. Strong motor, fresh drivetrain parts, upgraded brakes, new wheels and tires. All the essentials are here. It's a vintage truck with timeless appeal, just waiting to hit the road again.